This is a court case on this knife, guys. When I got this knife, it really didn't dawn on me anything other than legit. I want you to see how good it fits back there. And I did computer comparisons on the bone, and the closest thing is Cattaraugus bone. It's very similar. I had a Cattaraugus very similar. It's got the Indian trails. Nothing like Wilbert. The only companies I could find that made a saddle horn is Case Tested, Wilbert, and Valley Forge. Valley Forge and Wilbert were the same company, guys, so that's the same deal. I did find, I believe Mike Tint, the guy that runs the Cattaraugus page on Facebook, he said he's seen 4 Cattaraugus saddle horns in his life, though he suspicioned all of them, but I think that's pretty solid evidence they exist. I don't think somebody faked up 4 of them. And what did they do it with, you know? Nickel silver liners, that was not common among really any companies, but Cattaraugus did use it on their top end knives. Wilbert had 1 or 2 runs ever with nickel silver. Everything else was brass. Artificial intelligence, I tried to get them to say 90% certain. They said 88 was as far as they would go, but that's because we didn't find it in a book. But I want to counter that with something. I found 2 other Cattaraugus patterns that I know exist that we couldn't find in a book either. And one was the King of the Woods with the dice in it. Right there's a set of those little ivory dice right there. With a dice in it, and the 11049, which is a bullet-shaped knife with 1 blade. I had one, and I believe Michael Clyde, I saw a picture, he had one. Couldn't find those in books either. So it wasn't uncommon for them not to have one in the books, especially prototypes or short runs. I did a search, had AI search to see if there was any, when the Cattaraugus factory burned, you know, there were some blades that came out of that. I bought some, I know Daniel bought some, different people did, but couldn't find any bone, any questions of the bone. Though, if they did, there's a guy in Alabama that bought up a bunch of stuff that's possible. And so that's always a small option that this was put together after the factory burned with Cattaraugus parts, but highly unlikely. Way more likely just that it was a limited run or a prototype. I've heard whisperings of a couple other guys who thought they'd seen one before. People, it's just kind of hard to remember, you know, especially when or they were very rare when you saw one, you know. So I have no, the double stamp, that wasn't uncommon with Cattaraugus. They were known to have not too deep of a stamp and have problems with the wear. This one isn't too deep, but it's pretty good, and it was double stamped. So I just wanted to put this out there, show it to people. I believe it's a find of a lifetime, extremely rare. Tony Foster has the Case Tested saddle horn in good condition at $2,100. I think this is a $1,000 knife all day, every day. I think the likelihood of you find another one in that good shape are slim to none. I think there are a few saddle horns out there, but, you know, time goes by, we'll find out more. Beautiful knife anyway, beautiful. I mean, it's not modern. Look at that bone. You can see it's not modern. I mean, nickel silver liners, the snap, guys. I think $1,000 is cheap for this knife. I think $1,500 would be better. And I'm totally open for new information on it. If anybody has any legitimate information, you can point something out. I would be very happy to hear it. I want to cover all my bases thoroughly. But I don't think, guys, I think this is a once-in-a-lifetime knife, man. Once-in-a-lifetime knife, and I think $1,000 is really, really cheap for it. If you want it for $1,000, let me know.